What's up, everybody, and welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and hey, welcome to the lounge. This is a place for nerds. It's a place for you. It's a place for me. It's a place where we can talk about all the stuff that we like TV shows, games, movies, video games. We can talk about, superheroes and Star Wars and all that stuff. Anything nerd is allowed here. All right, so welcome, and we're so glad that you're here. If this is your first time, will you please consider hitting that subscribe button so that you can be a part of this community and be a part of all of this nerd stuff going on. And make sure you hit that notifications bell so that you know when we put out new videos, which is every day. Ricola. Every day you're gonna get new videos from us. All right, so hey, hit that notifications bell, and also if you like what you see here, please drop a comment down in the comment section or smash that like button. As I was told today, that's what it's called. Smash that like button. Give us a thumbs up just so that we know that you are digging what we do here on the channel. Okay, and you can always go to Twitter, keep the conversation going there at Enosh Music, at Poindexter Lounge with just an X in the middle, no E, and then also you can hashtag Poindexter Lounge. Now, today I am still on the road. If you've been watching this week, faithful viewers, you'll know that I am a musician and that I have been on the road at a camp this week, campground this week, playing music. And so today's the last day of that, and so I'm looking forward to getting back in studio, back home to edit some videos that we already had going that I haven't had a chance to finish and get those out for you. Some toy related stuff. I just did, I found the coolest comic book shop that I've ever been at, I think, and I just interviewed them and I did a whole story on that, and so I can't wait to put that together for you all and to show that to you so that you're aware of that. And so we're on the road, so that's why we call it Poindexter on the road, because sometimes news breaks when we're not at home, right? Stuff happens. So today that happened. News broke today that finally the heavens opened, the clouds parted, and Disney has been approved to purchase Fox. Yes, the shareholders met for all of about 15 minutes and approved the acquisition of Fox by Disney. This is a huge thing, folks. Disney is getting a lot of stuff for this. They are, they're getting, different channels. They're getting stake in Hulu and other properties and everything. Now they're having to sell off the Fox sports channels, which should be interesting because I'm also a baseball fan, and I know we've got local Fox networks that show baseball and things like that. And so it'll be interesting to see where those go and what happens with those. But beyond that, the most important thing for nerds today is Marvel will once again have not all, they will have most of their properties all under one roof. Sony still owns the Spider-Verse and a lot of those characters, and that's why they had to make a special deal to get Spider-Man in the MCU, which is actually going to be up here pretty soon. It'll be interesting to see if they renew that or what happens. But that's a whole other story that we talked about before, about how the popularity of the Venom movie will probably determine whether or not we see much of Spider-Man in the MCU anymore. So Spider-Man needs to be in the MCU. I mean, he's Spider-Man. When you think Marvel, one of the most Marvel-centric characters that I can think of is Spider-Man. He's like the big dog to me, and he needs to be there. But you might be asking, saying, I'm new to this. Well, why don't they own their own characters? What's going on? Well, let me explain it to you then. I'll give you a little history lesson. Years ago, Marvel was strapped for cash. They needed money. They were worried that they weren't even going to be able to survive, and so they got this idea. They said, hey, we've got all these characters, right? And DC's made a couple of movies. They've made a couple of Superman movies, a couple of Batman movies. Why don't we sell off the movie rights to our characters? But they didn't plan ahead on that, right? So they didn't license them to these other companies. They sold the rights flat out. So it was people like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the X-Men. Marvel didn't have their own studio back then. They never thought that they were going to be making movies of these characters. That was movie studios' jobs, not the comic book company. And so they sold off all these rights, and so we got really cheesy movies. We got a really cheesy Fantastic Four movie that if you ever just want to laugh, go watch this thing because it's got the funniest effects ever. I mean, the Invisible Woman is just not there. She's just off screen talking. And Mr. Fantastic, his stretching ability looks like this. Ooh, look at that. Look how I'm stretching. I'm so far away from you guys, and yet I'm stretching. Look at my finger stretch. Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. You know, so we got really horrible movies there. And then for the longest time, Spider-Man was in development. And one of the rumored people to play Spider-Man was actually Michael Jackson, if you can imagine that. But hey, all those years are behind us now. You skip years later, Disney buys Marvel. And Marvel has been on this crusade to try to get back some of these things, some of these characters, and we never thought that we'd see that happen. We may never see them just flat out own Spider-Man again. I mean, I think that Sony would have to get into some major trouble financially for that to ever happen again. But, you know, hey, you never know. We didn't think that we'd get X-Men and those characters back either, and now they are, right? And so, so this paves the way for some exciting things for the MCU, because now going forward, as we will start to see some of our favorite characters maybe go away, maybe die here in the next Avengers movie, the next wave of Marvel movies could be very interesting as we see brand new versions of the X-Men, maybe of Fantastic Four. Even Deadpool is part of that group. So any character owned by Fox is now going to be available to the MCU. That's exciting, you know. I understand that. Even though I'm a huge DC guy, hey, I understand the magnitude of this for any Marvel fan to be able to finally see this. And I'm a Marvel fan too, but it's not to the extent of my DC fandom. But I still understand it. I get it, and I think it's going to be awesome that these characters can be now brought into the MCU if Disney wants, or if they want to do something different with it, they can do that. But the option will be there, all right? And so this is pretty cool that this has finally happened, and I'm looking forward to see how they do and how they use it, all right? I'm curious what you guys think. What do you think of these developments? What do you think of this finally being approved? Now, hey, look, Comcast tried to at the last minute. They tried to make another offer, and you know what? That's just like Comcast. That's just like people sometimes, you know, when you think you got something and everything's going good, and all of a sudden somebody comes in at the last second and tries, you know, it's like buying something on eBay. You know, you had it, you put out a fair bid for it, and the last second somebody just comes and snipes you at the last second and tries to steal it, and it just makes you so mad. And that's what they tried to do. Comcast tried to be a little eBay snipe and take Fox at the last second, but Disney wasn't having it. Disney, man, they had themselves ready, and they were ready to make bids for these things, and they know that, you know, they're going to make a whole lot of money having these characters and these TV show properties and movie properties under their belt, you know, and Disney's getting ready to launch their own streaming service. Now, what's interesting is that Disney will now be a majority shareholder, I guess, of Hulu. So that's going to be interesting. But Disney will now have its own streaming service going forward. They're going to start that, and they need to have content, right? And it's got to be more than just the typical Disney stuff. I mean, Disney's got a great library of stuff, and then you add the Marvel stuff and Star Wars and all that stuff. But this will be, I think, a huge addition to them. And so, sorry, Comcast, you don't win this one. Haha. For any of you who've had trouble with Comcast at some point. But hey, that's the story, guys. That's what's going on. It finally got approved today. But what do you guys think? Are you excited about this? Are you looking forward to the possibilities as nerds to see more characters in the MCU? I almost said DCEU. But hey, are you looking forward to seeing these things in the MCU? Let me know down in the comment section or over on Twitter, all right? Until next time, my name is Enosh, aka Enosh Vet. As always, let me know where you're watching from. I want to know. Leave that in the comment section as well, okay? Because I like communicating with you guys. I will stretch all the way out to whatever part of the globe you're on, all right? Until next time, bye-bye.